A jaw drifts into the edge of a light cone. Half of it reads as form, the other half dissolves into black. You watch the creature pull itself back into the dark, back into a life that was already happening without your eyes on it. This is not a moment of discovery, this is a moment of interruption. And what interrupted, what you almost saw, rewrote what we thought we knew about life on Earth. In 2026, marine biologists returned from the deep with specimens that shouldn't exist, not because they couldn't fit into any taxonomy we have, but because the depths they came from exist in a category of pressure and darkness so extreme that we measure them the way we measure space, not in miles, but in the seconds it takes light to fail. 6,000 meters down. That's a vertical distance equal to flying from sea level to the edge of the atmosphere, but inverted downward into cold that locks the body solid and pressure that would compress a human body to the size of a fist. The deep ocean covers 70% of Earth's surface, but we've explored less of it than we have the surface of Mars. Less than 5% of the abyss has been mapped. The remaining 95% is a dark room larger than all the continents combined, and something is alive in it. Millions of somethings, billions, forms we've never named because we've never had a light bright enough to hold them long enough to see what they were. Until now. The creatures discovered in 2026 live at depths where the pressure is over 600 times what we experience at sea level. Imagine a weight pressing down on you equal to 50 elephants standing on your chest. Now add 600 of them. That is the pressure these creatures experience as a baseline, as the normal state of their bodies. They are not fighting against it, they are built by it. Their cells are structured to the pressure. Their DNA reads like a book written in a language that only functions under weight. One specimen pulled from the Challenger Deep, the lowest point in the world's deepest trench. 11 kilometers down, deeper than Mount Everest is tall, was a fish with a head the size of a thumbnail and teeth that never stopped growing. The teeth grew in a spiral, not upward, spiral. The creature had adapted to an environment where swallowing meant something different. Food doesn't fall when everything is pressure, it drifts, it rotates, and teeth that coil like a spring are built to catch what falls in dimensions we don't naturally understand. The held breath tightens low in your sternum. The beam of light doesn't reach the wall, it stops, it fails. And in that failure, in that edge where the light surrenders to dark, something moves. The creature is there and then it isn't. The dark has always been there. The dark wins every shot. And the dark is telling you that seeing is a trespass, a brief rude interruption into a life that does not need your witness to continue. These specimens were not anomalies, they were the rule. Hydrothermal vents, fractures in the ocean floor where superheated water rich in minerals pours out at temperatures hot enough to melt lead, host entire ecosystems that have never seen sunlight, not once, not in 4 billion years of Earth's history. The creatures living around those vents generate energy not from the sun but from chemicals dissolved in the water. They are eating stone, they are alive on geology. Everything we know about life on Earth, that the sun is the engine, that life is built on captured photons, does not apply down there. Life is still happening, creation is still happening, and it is happening in a room we are not invited into. We live on a planet where 99% of the habitable space is dark, where the majority of biomass exists in cold and pressure we cannot survive for a single second, where life has written itself into chapters we have never opened. And every time we shine a light into that dark, every time we interrupt, we find that we have been catastrophically wrong about what is possible. The twist is not that we found new species. The twist is that we finally understood what that means. We are not the authors of life on Earth. We are not the witnesses to a finished world. We are brief interruptions in a creation that is still happening, still writing, still discovering what forms are possible in the spaces we cannot reach. And the dark is infinite. The dark is still writing, and we are only seeing the shadow of the pen. This matters now because we are running out of time to see without destroying. The deep ocean is warming. The pressure zones are shifting. The creatures adapted to a single depth for millions of years are being forced into regions where they cannot survive. In the next decade, we will lose species we never knew existed. Forms of life that are truly alien, not because they come from another planet, but because they come from a room on our own planet that we have barely entered. So when you finish watching this, the ocean is still dark. The pressure is still crushing. And something is still alive in there, half visible at the edge of a beam we borrowed for a moment, still moving back into the black, still continuing in a life that does not require your understanding. The scale of what you don't know is pressing against you now. Let it change you, because that feeling, that smallness, that awe, that is the only true measure of how alive the world still is.